This content is brought to you by BEC Financial Technologies, developing and operating IT for Danish banks.
And now, Kasper, the stage is yours. Thank you so much. Hi.
Hello. So, my name is Kasper Kalfas, as Dorota introduced me, and today I will talk about DevOps practices in data project. Maybe I'm not a good speaker, maybe I'm not the best technical guy, but I will show you my love to Databricks and the data approach and DevOps world with it. Who I am? I'm a cloud architect in a software mind company. I'm working mostly with the data architecture in the Azure right now. And this is my orders. Okay, DevOps practices in data projects. So I prepare for you this illustration. This illustration is a data stream. And we need to organize that data in the modern world, especially that we have this things and the whole revolution with AI. So we need to maintain that data, because the biggest thing in this field is clean data, organize that data, and algorithm is just a function right now. And data scientists became more programmist, unfortunately. Okay, so this is data project in Azure Cloud. You can see data ingestion process, so Databricks. Serve, so this is something that we serve our models, our reports in Power BI. This is the layers of the data, so data magazine, data storage. Here we have a monitor and governance layer, and we need to maintain it, yes? So data scientists can do everything. We have data engineers, so data engineering is some kind as a DevOps in the data world, something like that, but still, these people need to know DevOps approach. So infrastructure as code, CI/CD pipelines, monitoring and migration stuff. It still works in this world. So if you are a developer or DevOps, you are welcoming in the data world. Because this is really crucial, because lots of the data scientists don't have a ability to work as a, maintaining CI/CD pipelines or something like that. Why DevOps matter in the data project? So scale and velocity, so we can quickly produce our code, brings automation, and we have a better circle time. Key challenges, as I said, scalability, pipeline maintenance, and data management. Data management is really important, because we need to do something as a data quality, because as in the development world, we have a unit test. In the data world, we have also unit test. This is the data quality. So we can write our test to see to see quality of our data. Yes. So we need to prepare so matches for our data. So you will learn today key technologies, Azure Databricks, Delta Live Tables, Medallion architecture, what is, strategies, CI/CD pipelines with the data, Unity catalog, and Lambda streaming. Databricks. Databricks is a really powerful platform. Right now, I think the most popular, and data scientists use it the most. It is multi-cloud platform, so you have the same instance in the GCP, Azure, AWS, and it not works on the on-premise, it's only in the cloud, and brings you a lot of things. The best thing is Apache Spark, but also other great thing is MLOps. So this is the framework to create our machine learning models. And here, this nice picture, this is the medallion architecture, generated obviously by AI. And in the medallion architecture, we have a ingest. So here is our batch or streaming. So maybe this is some kind of the API, maybe this is some kind of the other resources in the internet. And we have the raw data. So this is the bronze data. So this is the data with the schema. So data in the table, but this is data, this is something that we take from the internet with the nulls that we can name it, this data is uncleaned. So it's a raw data with the schema. Then we're doing some kind of the aggregation, filtering, something that we can reduce our nulls from that. And we have the silver layer. Silver layer, so from the silver layer, we can start building our models, our reports. We can treat it as a stage data. And then we have a gold layer. So this is something that is already prepared for the analyst, for the machine learning. But yes, and this is how to implement it in the Databricks. So we have one notebook with a bronze, silver, and a gold. And also we can implement it through the infrastructure as code because Databricks has a own provider. But medallion architecture is not so simple, and it is not only 3 tables. We have a lot. So this is, for example, from the API number 1, API number 2, API number 3. And we need to ingest that data. Then silver layer is not something that it's like the little bit of the military zone when we have a lot of things and a lot of tests, a lot of quality tests, and we are searching for the best. And when we find this the best in the data, we can serve it in the gold layer. Unity catalog. So Databricks is a one instance. One instance is a workload, and we can create a lot of workload. As we are working with the DevOps world, we have a dev, stage, and prod. So we can create this 3 workflows, but we need something that centralizes our approach, our governance. So we use Unity catalog. So without Unity catalog, we have one workspace, another workspace, and we need to maintain it like separately. Thanks to Unity catalog, we can have all our workflows and stages in one central like control tower, yes, one central place when we can maintain user management, metastore, and access control. And inside of the workspace, we can create our clusters and warehouses. So this is the key feature of the Unity catalog. And how it works, so here we have a Azure tenant, Azure subscription, and inside we are building some kind of the Databricks workspaces. And we have one Databricks account, and this Unity catalog works on that Databricks account. And here is a structure inside of the workflow of the Databricks. So we have a catalog. This is the level 1, schema, level 2, and we have the level 3. So this is a table, view, and functions. And this is something that we named the external location. So we can use our blob storages as an external location. So we do not store inside of the cluster that data. We can use external location to put it on the blob storage because it's cheaper, yes? Because in the past, it was something like that the people use and the technical guys use some kind of the warehouses. And inside of the warehouses, it was really expensive to maintain that data and have inside of the database. So we can use something that external location, so we can store it on the blob storage or S3 in the AWS. So inside of that, it's cheaper, and we can also use a life cycle of that data. So we can use that hot, cold, and archive layers of data. Yes, so for that, we need something that is named Databricks Access Connector, that we can create it from the also infrastructure as code. Infrastructure as code. Here's our folder and container for that data. We need to remember to have it Azure Databricks generation 2, because it brings us hierarchy of the folders. Because when you have a normal blob storage, you don't have that hierarchy of the folder. So generation 2 is mostly for the data analytics. So definitely is something that you need to use. And you connect that blob storage with the Unity catalog, and you can use it on the Databricks workflow. Yes, and how to create the dev catalog. So as you see, we have a catalog. So this is for the dev, UIT, and prod. And inside we have the schema, bronze, silver, gold. And inside of that schema, we are building the tables. Privileges on the tables. So it works like that. Benefits of the Unity catalog, as I said, we have a one centralized place when we can work with the Databricks, so we don't need to skip from the dev, UIT, and the prod there. Okay. Next slide. Azure Databricks with CI/CD. As I said, we can create basically three different workspaces: dev, UIT, and prod. Inside we have a dev catalog and bronze, silver, gold. Bronze, silver, gold. So imagine the situation: our data scientists create workspace, create dev code, and they want to test it. Yes. So this is the dev workspace. Then we have a UIT workspace when we show our business, our progress. Yes, so this is the UAT workspace, and the production. This is something that our production is working. And CI is not so complicated. I think it's easier than in the normal DevOps approach. So we can tell our developers to use pull requests. Then we write CI pipeline, and from pipeline we are putting our code to the something named live folder. So this is the folder when we store our code from Azure DevOps, for example. And CD process. So we have a dev, then we have an approval, and to the UAT, we are showing it to our business, and then we have approval to the prod. This is how I works with these projects. Azure Databricks recommendation. Okay, so my recommendation with the creation of the Databricks is like configure VNet injection for traffic control and security policies, and implement Azure Private Link for the secure private network traffic. So basically speaking, we need to think about all the connection with the Databricks, for example, with the Azure CQL or the blob storage using the Azure private link, and do it everything privately. Yes, and we can also utilize instance pools for the faster scaling and to reduce costs. So instance pools is like the pools of the clusters that runs every time, especially with the streaming processing. Restrict cluster permissions, so put the permission to the users, so it's really obvious. And we can also have a predefined clusters to avoid higher costs. Oh yes, as I said, deploy Databricks in a managed VNet, use a private link to the rest of the, to prevent access from the public internet, and use airbag control. What is not recommended to the using Databricks as a infrastructure as code approach. So I definitely try to avoid automated deployment and avoid configuration and deploying Databricks jobs directly. Monitoring. Databricks give us something like Databricks Overwatch. It works on the Unity catalog layer. So we have all the workflows in one place. So we have cost tracking, governance, and compliance. And this is the infrastructure of that Overwatch. We need to provide here Event Hub, and store it on the blob storage. Inside of the workspace, we have something like also monitoring, when we can monitor our jobs. And now we're going to talk about the Delta Live tables. So Delta Live tables is something that helps us to maintain silver layer. So it's easier to create some kind of the data quality. And we write something like that. This is our roles here. And here we have a data quality. So for example, you can see what is match, what data is matching, and how much of the data, how much of the records are matched for your in your project. Yes, this is a big picture of the Delta Live tables here. Migrations. Yes, so there is also one strategy for the migration and the tools that you can migrate from the GCP to the Azure, from the Azure to the other subscription of the Azure, yes, something like that. So, so this is also another tool from the Databricks. Yes, and here this is the whole data evaluation in the data project. Data ingestion, and this is something that right now it's really popular. The companies are trying to using some called Airbyte. So Airbyte is something that we can avoid this data ingestion, and we don't need write like some kind of the Python code to query the data straight from the API. So we can use this Airbyte to take that data, because it's doing automatically. We need to write some long YAML for that, but still we have one place that serve us this bronze layer. So instead of writing the code to query data from the APIs, we can also use this Airbyte, and this is something that it's really popular, and that Airbyte tool is it was found in the summer this year. Okay, Lambda architecture. So imagine our project is a Lambda architecture project, and we have two flows here. One flow is batch processing. So we have the producers, and we just running batch job every day, for example, from internet, from the Google Maps or something like that, and we store it on the Delta Lakehouse. So this is our blob storage, but in the format Delta, and we have this Delta Lake, and another stream is a stream processing, and we have the producer, and this data streams like all the time. Yes, so we have the streaming data. They are streaming just all the time, and we are taking that data. And then we can store it in the Delta Lake, or we can use it for our machine learning model. When to use? When we want to do some kind of the real-time and batch processing, and when we want high availability. We can use for this Azure Event Hub. And yes, let's do some practice. So we have that project. As I said, we have an API transaction, bronze, silver, and gold layer. And then when we have a streaming processing, we have a API and then producer. Then we can just push to the Event Hub and then put to the streaming. So create workspace from the infrastructure as code. This is our workspace. Here is our workflows. So Databricks DevOps Congress, Databricks Pro DevOps Congress. And this is the code for the Terraform. Not so hard. Create data ingestion. So we have our data scientist who prepares this code for us. This is a bronze layer. This is a silver layer. And this is the gold layer. So the difference, look, it's like the data ingestion. So I need to query here the data. Then I'm doing some kind of the aggregation to have a silver layer, and I'm saving it in the silver table. And here I'm just like doing the last aggregation to serve it as a gold layer. And here is my stream data. So very important. We have here the Spark session build, and this is Event Hub stream. So I'm taking that data from the Event Hub. Then I'm just using Spark stream, and I just take that data from the stream. Create CI/CD pipeline. This is my header for the CI/CD pipeline. So my variables, this is something like VM pool. And my stages, this is something that I put my stages, some environment development. And here is my last code for that. So this is my pipeline. The best thing right now is I'm saving everything to the live folder. So this is the special folder where we store our notebooks from the Azure DevOps. And here is my Unity catalog for that, and place where I put my airbag control for from the Databricks. Set up jobs. So here is my jobs, bronze, silver, and gold. Yes, and I think this is my last slide here. So I'm free to answer your questions.
And I'm joining you guys for the Q&A session. Do we have any questions? Looking at the back of the room and in the front, I guess there are no questions, so everything is clear. Kasper, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your presentation.